What's up, guys? I'm here at 2018 C2E2, and I'm here with special guest Susan Eisenberg. How's it going?
Hi. Hi.
Good, good. So tell me, how has it been here in Chicago?
Brilliant. I mean, I wanted to come here. This was on my bucket list of cons that I wanted to visit. And it's cold, but it's fantastic. I mean, I got out this morning nice and early, big hat, gloves, the whole thing, and it just is fantastic.
Awesome. And now, one of the main things that I've, chatted with some of the folks that I've had an opportunity to speak with are two things: the idea of diversity and superheroes, of course, like how they've come to the forefront, even just in everyday life among those who may not be familiar with this. So, can you comment on that and being the voice of Wonder Woman in this, in this era that we're in right now?
So, all right. So,
I know it's a lot.
I mean, specifically comment on.
So I was just saying, just the idea of being the voice behind that strong, female figure within the, the landscape that we have right now.
It's a privilege, and it's also, it feels like there's a certain sense of responsibility that comes with it. And, I've always maintained that it's important for children to be able to look in their books, on their films, in their stories, and see themselves. So if little girls and little boys are looking up onto the screen and seeing or hearing Wonder Woman and seeing themselves in her, I just think that representation is important, no matter what. Straight, gay, no matter what, white, black, Hispanic, Jewish, Catholic, like no matter who you are, there's something to be said about seeing yourself portrayed back to you. And I just think in this time of the Me Too movement, I mean, just that women are finding their voices.
Yes, yeah.
So the fact that I can give voice, if you will, to this extraordinary character, I do look at it as a privilege.
Okay. And in that same regard, speaking of Wonder Woman, as we can see here, you've had an opportunity to be that character in various iterations. So would you say that there's something different that is a new approach that you've used in those iterations, and if so, what has it been for you?
Well, there are different projects.
Yes.
So based on the different project, like Injustice, the game is a very different
Is
a very different Wonder Woman, as you know,
Of
than
course.
from Justice League.
Of course.
She's more badass, and she's she's a tougher broad, if you will. And so it's a different, but in anything I'm doing, any project I'm doing, there's somebody who wrote it and there's somebody who's directing it. And so it's my job as the voiceover actor to make their vision come to life.
Of course.
So it's one thing like where I'd like to go see her, where I'd like her to go in terms of being a character. But it's another thing when I'm hired is to make their vision come true. That's what I'm there for. But it's all different. All these things, DCU Online, the comics, the video games, I mean, all different women.
Gotcha. And in that same regard, a lot has been said about the movie verse of DC versus the animated arm of DC, and I would say on that end that the animated end has been so much more awesome than live action. So what do you think is needed from that live action arm or those films to bring that same feeling, so to speak?
I think it's the storytelling. I think one of the things our show in particular, to the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, got right, and I say this because I've heard this from so many fans of the genre, is that they told incredible stories. They respected these characters, they respected their histories, their origins, and the people who were behind the Justice League were fans. Whether it was Marvel or DC, they were fans of that storytelling.
Yeah.
And you can feel it. The shows respected the audience. I think if you could bring that, I mean, listen, Wonder Woman was extraordinary, the live action film.
Yeah.
But I think if you could bring that to all of DC, that kind of storytelling.
Yeah.
And also, I think that we need to lighten up. This is just
so dark.
It's so dark. And, I think if you want to bring those young fans in, Give a little lightness, give a little humor, give a little romance. Yeah, there can be darkness. There is good and evil.
Yes.
That's the basis for these stories. But make them a little bit
Some
lighter.
levity.
Yeah, leaven them a little bit and tell a good story. Because the Justice League, the live action, the characters are all there,
They
and
are,
the
yeah.
audience already knows them
Right.
and loves them. So you've got that. You know, the audience, I feel like, is cheering already.
Yeah.
Just give them a delicious story they can sink their teeth into. That's my opinion.
Gotcha. Well, Susan, thank you so much for your time.
My
I
pleasure.
very much appreciate it. There you guys have it. I'm here at 2018 C2E2. I'll see you soon.